Wait, what will you do to fix the economy?
So, as the president is interested in using loans mostly as a way to repair the economy, funded both publicly and privately, that's a really good way to help the economy boost right now without creating too much debt for the future. He also is in support of the gold standard because if we break away from that, it'll really change the way that our money system works. And then also, in reference to banking, he really wants to step up the banking laws so that they're a lot more consistent in what they're looking for and making sure everything is safe. And also, kind of increasing the amount of audits that we have so that uh, the banks are more accountable for what they're
So
doing.
the next question is, how will you deal with the drought and its effect on forming a food supply?
So the drought has been a really big problem for the United States recently because it's affecting the farming completely. So our main goal right there is to keep the supply and demand at a reasonable rate so that it doesn't hurt our dropping economy even more because we are in a really bad state. So the drought on top of that is a huge problem. So we're trying to create cooperative markets and farms so that that money keeps fair trade. We're not transitioning into too much competition or too much surplus. This we would also allow tariffs so that we can create more rehabilitation and relief towards those communities who rely most.
So I have another question. How exactly is Mr. Roosevelt planning to deal with the drought and its effect on farming and food supply?
Okay, so our plan is to put people to work, not only in agriculture, but also in industry. We have this new policy in mind, but I won't throw away all the details yet. But it includes like agricultural policies, new banking laws. It will help improve unemployment rates, as well as help boost our economy and give more greatly needed projects to stimulate and reorganize our natural resources.
How will you deal with the drought and its effect on, is it farming and food supply?
So, because farming is such a big part of the world and United States economy, we're really concerned with this drought because it's taking over all of the central United States. So, our main goal right there is to keep the supply and demand at a reasonable rate so that we don't fall into too much inflation or deflation. So, in order to do that, we're looking to create cooperative farms and markets, which will promote a lot more fair trade so that we don't have too much competition and keep the levels of and costs of things at a reasonable rate, but also helping those people create enough income. We'll also be creating tariffs, which, although most are against taxation, these tariffs would help put money towards the rehabilitation and relief process for those communities who rely mostly on
Mary, I'd
farming.
like to know, what is your side planning to do in order to fix the economy? Do you guys have any plans, upcoming programs you're planning on?
So like as a part of Mr. Roosevelt's campaigning process, we plan on advocating like strengthening and impartial enforcement of the antitrust laws, which will help to prevent monopoly and unfair trade practices, and also like call for the revision for the better protection of labor and the small businesses. Also, we plan on removing government from all aspects of free enterprise business, with the exception of developing public works and natural resources. Thank you.
Okay, and today we also have two special guests with us. We have Randall Bashimi, who is a conservative and a financial planner, as well as Mr. Williams, who is a history teacher and is a liberal.
Okay, so what do you think that Hoover has done so far that has worked for the country?
Well, I believe that Hoover is allowing the free market economy to work its way through these problems. There were, obviously we had too much borrowing from in the banking system, and I want to say lack of regulation run amok. But rather than I want to say the pendulum swinging too far in favor of more government, I think Hoover is doing the right thing in trying to let the free market system and capitalism work its way through these problems.
Okay, so if you're in support of Hoover, why do you think that FDR cannot handle this job as president?
Well, I want to say everybody has the same goals for the country, but it's how you kind of go about doing it. And FDR, his answer to everything is, more and more government. And I'm just fundamentally don't believe in that. He wants to basically have the government own, big portions of the country, and I'm just very much against that. I don't think the government should be, a huge, say, employer or a huge part of the economy, and that's kind of what he's talking about, all the different programs.
So, Mr. Williams, we just wanted to ask you, what is your opinion of Mr. Hoover as president right now?
He's certainly got his work cut out for him. The economy's in shambles. It's the worst shape than it's ever been in. However, do I feel that he's doing all that he can to help the nation see its way through this? No, absolutely not. He demonstrated his callousness towards the American people with the bonus army just a few short months ago, where a woman and a child are fatally hurt by the actions that took place. That action alone essentially clinched the deal. What is he doing in its place? He's giving $2 billion to banks through the Reconstruction Finance Corporation. Are those the people that I feel that are most in need, with 25% of the nation unemployed? Absolutely not. So when the American people have a choice to make this coming election, would I have them choose Herbert Hoover? Given the past record, not just with the two actions that I brought up, but a number of others I'll be glad to discuss in more detail, I would not go that route. I would put my vote behind President Franklin Roosevelt.
Do you want to continue?